Hi, physical science students. This is Miss Schuler, and I want to say welcome. In this video, we will do our daily prayer together. I'll talk a little bit about the routines set in place, and hopefully at the end of this video, you'll have a little bit of a better idea of what day-to-day life in physical science will look like. So the first thing I want to do is share for our prayer today a little excerpt that was shared to me by Mr. Sutliff, our principal. He shared this with the teachers on our first day back. A lot of us were feeling very overwhelmed, especially since this was the first time many of us were in the building since March. And the thought of going back to school post-COVID was really overwhelming. So this is an excerpt from Luke chapter 23, verse 26, and it's talking about Jesus carrying his cross all the way to Calvary. Now it says, as the soldiers led him away, they seized Simon from Cyrene, who was on his way in from the country, and put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. So when we think about this particular verse, we're thinking about Jesus on his way to his death, having to carry this cross and needing some help along the way. So a big idea to think about is Jesus himself was human. He was fully God and fully man, and even Jesus needed help carrying his cross. Our crosses are not hopefully this physical cross like Jesus carried, but would be like our burdens. So carrying your cross would be carrying whatever burden you are carrying with you. So do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid to pull a Simon and help somebody else carry their cross as well. So here are some things I want you to think about. What type of crosses do you carry? What kind of burdens do you carry? Maybe it's fear or anxiety. Maybe it's managing your workload. I also want to challenge you, if you see someone struggling with their cross, how will you help? So be on the lookout today. See if there's anyone else who needs help carrying that cross and provide that extra help, whether it's answering someone's question, reaching out and introducing yourself, or possibly just giving an uplifting word to somebody. So I want to again introduce myself. So I'm Miss Schuler. You'll most likely see me with a mask on in the building, but you can also see my smiling face behind the mask. I want to tell you a little bit of why I wear my mask. I am an aunt. I am called Auntie, or TT for short. This is my niece Avery, and Avery is actually going to be a big sister come October. So soon, very soon, we'll have baby John, or JD as we'll call him, here in October. And I want to make sure that I'm healthy to be able to continue to spend time with them and the new baby on the way. I also wear my mask for all of you at St. Joseph Academy. I know you have similar stories that you wear your mask for, so I want to respect that as well and make sure that we keep all of us and our loved ones safe. A little bit more about me. This is my 5th year at St. Joseph Academy. It sounds crazy to even say that, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of how I got there. After high school, I did not go to St. Joseph Academy, although I wish I did. I went to Amherst High School. When I graduated, I was offered like a full-time scholarship to Lorain County Community College for 2 years. So I went there, and then I transferred to Cleveland State University. I originally was studying math, and I took a couple physics courses along the way and fell in love and knew I wanted to be a science teacher. So after Cleveland State University, I began immediately teaching at St. Joseph Academy. So, and like I said, this is my 5th year. It's hard to believe. I just recently graduated as of like 2 days ago from Western Governors University, WGU, Ohio. So I have a little bit of a sense of what it's like to hold responsibilities in teaching, but also online learning, as I did at that online program and just finished. I am a daughter, or a sister as well. Here is my sister Casey. We were actually twins, and that's Avery's mom, who I just shared. I don't think we look alike. Some people say they see it, but that's my twin sister Casey. I also have, here's Casey as well, 2 brothers. My brother Guy will be getting married this December, and here's my brother Cody as well. I know this COVID world has turned everything on its head, but one thing I really like to do is travel. Here's a picture of me at Yellowstone from, I think, 2 years ago. This summer, I spent a lot of my time at the Rocky River Reservation trying to get that fill of the outdoors. So, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves here this first week, but here's a little bit about me up until we continue to meet and talk about that. Here are some things for the daily life in physical science classrooms. So I think a lot of this can be so overwhelming. I know for me, understanding what my day-to-day life would look like made things a little bit easier. So I hope to share that same for you. So I don't know about you, but when March hit, I felt like my world got turned upside down. We are starting to get back to normal, but there will be some things that we'll have to pay attention to. And one of that is being more cautious with safety. So you'll notice today when you came in, the desk and chairs were probably wet from the other class who had sprayed them down. Your job when you first come into the physical science classroom will be to wipe down your desk. Just grab a paper towel and dry that off. Likewise, when we leave the classroom, you're going to spray down the desks. You do not have to wipe them down. That spray should be sitting a little bit, which is why it was wet when you came in. We have assigned a seat so that we can make sure that we keep everyone safe. And if there is an outbreak, that we are able to kind of keep track of what's going on. So remaining in your assigned seat will be extremely important. And then, as previously mentioned, make sure that you wear your mask properly. Make sure it's over your nose and you're wearing a mask that fits you, and that you remain socially distant. Now, we are going to be having in-person days and online learning days, and depending on the schedule, we will be able to manage both. So in our in-person days for physical science, that's looking like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Here is what a typical day routine will look like. The first thing you're going to do is go to your assigned seat. Like I said, you'll probably have to dry it off. We'll do daily attendance and prayer. We will complete tasks that are posted in the lesson plan document released every week on Classroom. So every week you can go to Google Classroom. Monday at the very latest, you'll probably even see it on Sunday, if not sooner. But you'll see the lesson plan for the week posted. So you can check that out. And then I will be switching between two classrooms. If you are in my B block physical science class, you'll be with a supervisor and myself. So that switch will be happening typically halfway through the period. If I am in the room with you, we'll be typically completing activities, some type of activity in person. If you are with the supervisor will be in the room, but you will be working on independent learning. And all of that will be in this lesson planner. Here's a snippet of what the day would look like. You'll have the day, the objectives, and then you will be assigned a group A, group B, or if you are a fully remote learner, your schedule would be here. The tasks would be given to you, and then assignment and due date. So this will give you an opportunity to see what your responsibilities are. And then these weekly plans can be found on Google Classroom. If you go to the classwork section, you'll see a little tab for those lesson plans. Now, we will be learning remotely on Tuesdays and Thursdays when we are in level red or level 3. So it is recommended that you check the lesson planner, ideally the evening before our online class. That way you understand what you need to do. We will be doing video calls on Zoom at the start of our assigned class time. That way we can do attendance and prayer. If we are doing something where we're going to be having online discussions, you'll stay on Zoom. If not, you might be doing work independently. A big reminder that was sent out by Mr. Sutliff is that you should be wearing your SJA uniform. You should be seated at a proper workstation, aka not your bed. We had some problems with that last year. So a table or a desk, somewhere where you are able to work efficiently. And then you should have all your materials ready and your video camera should be on. I'm going to ask that you do not turn off your video camera. I should be able to see your face. You may be muted unless I call on you, but please keep your video camera on. Like I said, we'll do a daily attendance and prayer, and then there will be tasks, like I said, in that lesson planner document on Google Classroom so that you'll know what you need to do. There may be an instance where you are either a fully remote learner or you might have to learn remote during in-person days. This might happen if, for say, you have to be quarantined or you're not feeling well, but you're well enough to come into the building. Maybe you have a symptom and you're trying to be cautious, but you feel well enough to be learning remotely. I will have this document posted on Google Classroom, but if the case that you are a remote learner during an in-person day, so Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, you must email me by 7:30 a.m. if you are typically an in-person learner, stating that you will be attending class remotely, not in person. You will then click on the Google Meet link in the banner of our class's Google Classroom page. So you'll see where it says, sorry, this is cutting it off, but on the bottom, it has like a Google Meet link that you'll click on. You'll join us for attendance and prayer. You'll be able to ask whatever questions you might have at that time, and then you are going to follow the remote learner instructions on the lesson plan document. I also wanted to tell you about what materials you need. That way we're ready to go when we meet back up next Monday. You'll need a 1.5-inch 3-ring binder with loose leaf paper, a charged Chromebook, and this is extremely important since we can't move seats. Your Chromebook is going to need to be charged. That way you're not having to move around the room to charge it. So make sure your Chromebook is charged the night before. Recharge at lunch if you need to. Make sure that you have a headphone, or that you have headphones with built-in microphone. This is extremely important because during the independent time, you'll have to be watching videos, and you'll need it to be quiet for everyone else. You should also have pencils, pens, and a dry erase marker. That way we don't have to share those supplies. You should have a scientific calculator. Your math class will typically have you buy a graphing calculator. If you have a graphing calculator, perfect, you can use it. If not, a basic scientific calculator is helpful. If you have questions about what that might look like, let me know, but typically they're around $9 or $10. And you can find those at pretty much any store. I will be giving you a physical science textbook if I haven't already, and that can be left at home. That way you don't have to carry it. And then I'm going to ask that you have these materials with you by Monday, August 31st, where we see each other next. And then some next steps, whether you finish them today or before next week, I'm going to ask that you read over the syllabus posted in the classwork section on Google Classroom. There's also a student survey posted on there. I'm going to ask that you complete that. If you have any general questions that others are likely to have, so maybe it's over this video or over the syllabus, any general questions, I'm going to ask that you post them on a sticky note in the physical science Jamboard. That is also posted on Google Classroom, and I'll be sure to answer those back. You may put your name on it. You don't have to, but make sure you check back to see if your question was answered. And then if you have any personal questions that only pertain to you, maybe, do not hesitate to email me. My email is kschuler@sja1890.org. I am so looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you and to be able to be back in the physical science classroom learning some science. So let's make it a great semester. If you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out.